How's everybody doing?
Hey, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Malcolm, you've been in this situation before, coming off the Super Bowl and returning to spring. As one of the leaders on this team, what are some of the initial, feelings and things you felt you had to say to the team when you guys gathered yesterday?
I didn't say anything to the team. I mean, Coach addressed the team. I just think it's important over the next month or so that kind of the veterans on the team set the pace. Just like any other year, you set the pace for what your offseason is going to be like and what mindset the team is going to start. So I think it's important as quickly as we can put last year behind us and focus on kind of the here and now and what it's going to take to win with the guys that we have and accomplish something with this team in particular.
For you personally, how different is it moving on from this Super Bowl than it was the last time?
I don't know yet. We're just starting. So it's, for me, I guess being through it once before, I kind of know some of the pitfalls. But it's one of those things that it's a short off season. We played obviously for a month longer. And now we are, here in the off season, the voluntary workouts, trying to get back into the swing of things. So there's a lot of different factors about how your body feels, and like I said, trying to put the past behind you after you celebrated for a few months. But that's fun. It's a situation that we want to be in every year. So we're navigating through that.
Do you feel like you kind of had enough time to recover and get ready, start focusing on the upcoming season?
Yeah, I think so. And I know Doug and the coaching staff are going to be smart in the way they deal with our bodies, knowing that we've had pretty much a month less of recovery time than we normally do, and played a lot longer. So, we got confidence that we'll take care of that in the offseason.
Speaking of your body.
Doug Peterson is calling this the new normal for you guys. We saw the video of the banner and practice facility for you. How does the energy feel different coming in at this point in the season than it did last year?
I think it's just a different mindset of who we are, like knowing what you've been able to accomplish. But I think, for me, when I hear the term the new norm, I'm not thinking about the end result. I'm not thinking about the championships and the parades and all of that. I'm thinking about the work that it took to get to where we were. How we started last year in April and grinded and competed all the way throughout. And so for me, that's kind of the new norm. That's the standard and the base that we're trying to start from this year as we, try to defend that title.
How's the thumb?
I'm fine. I was, working out a couple weeks out of surgery, so nothing that's concerning.
You know how rare it is for teams to repeat. What gives you confidence that this group can be the exception?
I'm not talking about repeating at this point in time. We're just we still don't even have the entire roster, filled yet. So as of right now, it's about identifying, individually and as a unit where we can get better and attacking those head on. Like I said, as individual players, as coaches, as a scheme. Right now, you're in that evaluation mode and in a corrective mode. Once we figure out who we have on the roster after the draft, then you're trying to figure out, it's an evaluation who's the best 53, who are the best 11 for a unit. And so we're early in that too early in that stage to be talking about repeating.
If you look at the changes that were made, a lot of established veterans so far, 30-year-old guys and older. Why is that important for the makeup of this team to have those types of players?
Well, most of the time when you get, guys that are over 30, they've played long enough in the league that they know what it takes to win, and they have a huge desire to win now. And a lot of them chose to come here because of what we've established from a culture standpoint over the last few years. And I think as a veteran, it makes it a lot easier to lead when you have kind of that veteran presence to lead a young, talented team. I think that's what helped us last year, having some veterans in key positions. And I think that's the same this year.
Malcolm, with some of the key injured guys that were not able to be a part of the Super Bowl run, like Carson and Jordan and Jason, how much hunger and freshness do you think that will bring to the team, those guys starting off this season?
I think what it'll do is add more competition because we had a lot of guys step up last year in those spots. And so, Chris Maragos, I can think about, you had Camus come up and kind of be that new special teamer, and I know that, Chris takes a lot of pride in being that guy. So there's competition there. Linebackers, guys were moving around, playing all different positions. Nigel Bradham being in there, it's going to be competition there. You look at every position and do that, even running back. So, to me, it's going to be that. I think it's going to be kind of that injection of some real competition, especially when we get to training camp, seeing who's going to be on the field. And I think, competition breeds excellence.
When Doug talked to you guys after the Super Bowl, Malcolm, he warned you about the other side of success and thinking you've arrived when you win this. You've been through it. Is it something you have to consciously be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, success is a lot harder to deal with than failure. I thrive off of people telling me I couldn't do it or not good enough. That motivates you, but you can easily start believing the hype. When people here in April start telling you why you're the favorite to repeat and all this other stuff, you lose focus of the day-to-day grind. So that's up to the veterans like myself, other guys on the team, the coaches, to make sure that we're not looking or listening to anything else out there but what's going on today. How do we improve and get better in the daily grind and enjoy that process throughout the year? Same thing as we did last year.
With the guys you have on the team, do you sense that drive will be any kind of issue?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like I said, I think any team usually takes on the attitude of its coach and its veterans. And I think we got a really good group of guys that are thinking bigger than themselves and want to really create something special and know how to go about doing that.
Malcolm, what's your take on what happened with Daryl Worley?
I don't really know him too much. I know he was coming back home from the Panthers. I still hadn't gotten necessarily all the details on the arrest and everything, so it's hard for me to really comment on that.
Malcolm, you hit on Brandon Cooks was legal in the Super Bowl but won't be going forward. What are your thoughts on that, on those little changes?
It won't be?
It won't be going forward.
I don't really know about the new changes, to be honest. Why wouldn't it be legal?
Because there's new rules about, I guess, leading with your helmet in any circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I never taught at this game. We're coached not to tackle our heads. I know I try not to tackle with leaving my head, but at the same time, with the head being in the front of your body, it's really hard to do that. So, I mean, they've changed rules every year. I think I'll continue to play the game in the manner that I've been playing, which I think is a safe brand of football. It's definitely kept me healthy, but it's sometimes hard to see how the rules translate into real movement and how to coach and execute that, or even how to, rule that or judge that.
Malcolm, what did you learn about Carson Wentz from the period that he hurt himself, and you gave that speech afterwards in the locker room with him there, to you guys winning the Super Bowl?
I think you learn a lot about people when they have nothing to gain in a situation. And so, with Carson being out and the team still moving on, and having success without him, for him to still be engaged, still be involved, to still be contributing and wanting to contribute, I think says a lot about his character. I know he's been itching to get back healthy so that he can, compete and be a part of the team and what we're doing. But I know a lot of guys gain an awful amount of respect for him, staying engaged because, quite frankly, being in the league as long as I have, a lot of the times, even, the best meaning people, when they can't be involved in it, sometimes check out.
Do you think that the way they continue to shrink the strike zone, it can lead even more injuries? Because now you have to think more than just reacting the way you're taught.
Yeah, I know as a defender, I've changed the way that I approach ball carriers drastically since I came into the league, and I know it's helped me and my body personally. But I do think there's, a point where, like I said, we're just not as good as athletes as these rules are demanding, and so some of the rules are kind of unrealistic. Some, I think, help the game, but we'll kind of work through that, and the game will continue to adjust as it has. There you go.
In your case, Malcolm, you're not one to sit still. What have these past few weeks, past 2 months been like since the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's been yeah, I'm not one to sit still at all. It's been a lot of work, travels, time with my family, knowing that this is going to be a quick turnaround. It's kind of getting it all out of your system, but you want to enjoy it. It's as hard as you work, in this profession, you want to be able to indulge in the fruits of your labors, and that's what that's been. Now here we are back at it, and it's that refocus and forward-facing efforts now.
Has it been any different being a Super Bowl champion in terms of the opportunities, or has that changed at all?
Yeah, I think whenever you are at the top of any profession, your influence is kind of at an all-time high. Your stage and platforms are at an all-time height, and you take advantage of that. So I definitely think there's been a lot of eyes on not only myself but the team, the city, and that's what you work for.
Now, how big of a loss is Patrick Robinson? And when you look at the guys you have right now on the roster, are there guys who stand out where you say, all right, this guy, he has the skill set to play that nickel spot?
Well, I think the loss of Patrick Robinson is big because he played great last year. Made a ton of plays for us. Won some games, and so just to replace that amount of production is always tough. But that's one of the things we're confident in the guys we have in the room. I've had a lot of experience at the nickel position. We got other guys that are versatile that can drop in. Still hadn't finished building all the roster, whether we're doing something in the draft or adding guys. So the top combination of 5 or 6 DBs hadn't really been thought of yet. That's what the offseason is for guys to compete, to get evaluated. And come August, we'll be ready to identify who that group is.
Malcolm, you had a relationship with Michael Bennett before he signed here. In light of what happened with him and the rest, have you had an opportunity to talk to him? And what do you make of what you've heard from Houston PD and from Bennett's representation?
I've talked to him, obviously before all of this and since, just to, encourage him. But my take on it is, from an outsider looking in, not necessarily knowing all the details, but kind of just using common sense. It seems like they're trying to make an example out of him. But, hopefully those things will work out in his favor. He's a guy that I was excited when we signed him and got him here. So still looking forward to him being a part of this team, being part of this community, because I think he's somebody that cares, somebody that works hard. Obviously, he's a great athlete, but a great human being as well.
You watched the Super Bowl and all after the past couple months,
mm-hmm.
and what kind of takeaways do you have from it?
It's a great game. Just as a fan of football, it was a great game to watch, and obviously, very, very happy that it turned into our favor because the Patriots played a great game and could have easily went the other way. It's just a fun game to be a part of, fun game to watch.
Malcolm, you are a fan of football, college football as well. Draft is around the corner. Curious if you have heard, your name is thrown out there as somebody that's compared to guys in this draft now. You've reached that point in your career. I wonder if you have a reaction to it. Also, if you've seen the guy that I'm referring to as Minka Fitzpatrick as a guy that people talk about that's compared with you.
Actually, I haven't paid much attention this year to many guys coming out unless they went to Ohio State. So, no, I can't comment.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Cool.
Thanks, Malcolm.
No problem.